Hello, guys, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 5 Mystery with Fawn, Merryweather. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Inked Podcast. Today we have yet another super fun genre to talk about, and that is mystery. As a part-time mystery author myself, I am super excited to talk about this. And here with me today is my very close friend, Miss Fawn Merryweather. So how are you doing today, Fawn?
I am doing quite lovely, if I do say so myself.
Quite lovely. Oh my gosh, I love the accent. It's making me happy. For those of you who do not know Fawn, she is an avid bookworm with a passion for all things mystery, particularly the dark and twisted world of true crime. Currently, she is working on an exciting novel with her cousin, and when she is not immersed in the world of books, she enjoys diving in the world of botany and occasionally touching the grass. She is a very near and dear friend to my heart, and I am so excited to have her here today.
And I'm
So, Fawn and I have talked about mystery as a genre so much because it is often one that people find weird or difficult to enjoy, and we both think that people should really give it a try because it is truly so much fun and can be so much fun. So, without further ado, let's jump into our episode, don't you say, Fawn?
I do say it's gonna be quite fun. I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here. I'm really excited. So our first question for the day is, why do you personally love writing and reading mystery so much?
Well, personally, I am not much of an adrenaline junkie, but just mystery keeps you on your toes. Like you never know what's gonna happen next, and that's like the fun of it. Also, I love trying to predict the storyline, like 15 pages in. I'm just like, okay, right now, who is it gonna be? And it's so fun, just like the unraveling of it. Like with some books, like in order to really enjoy it, you have to like really dive almost deep into the characters and deep into the plot. And that's where you find the enjoyment. While whenever it's like a mystery, whenever like the author unravels everything that's going on and gives you hints here and there, that's really where the enjoying is. And yeah, I enjoyed a lot.
I agree with that a lot. Mystery, you really can keep readers on their toes just by like the pure, like, not just adrenaline, but like the pure plot twist that you can put into it. Like with a lot of genres, like too many plot twists, they're like, oh, this is too much happening. But like in mystery, the more you put into it, the more plot twists, the more like backstabbings, all of that. The more you do of that, the better it's gonna be.
Also at
So it
this
just go ahead.
Okay. Also at the same time, like just with other genres, it's so easy to find plot twists that occur more than once. And so it's so hard to find like new plot twists and things you weren't expecting, but in mystery, the author only tells you what they need to tell you. So with mystery, it's just like there's an infinite number of possibilities and I love it so much.
Yeah, it gives you like a good amount of space for like your own imagination. And like it's like, oh, there's so many ways that this could go. Like you can never quite see one particular path. And then when you get to the end of it, and a lot of the time they like explain like the murder mystery or like the mystery itself, like all of that normally gets like explained at the end of the book. And you're just like, "Oh, I was right the first time I guessed." Or like, "I was right this time I guessed," because eventually one of your guesses will be right.
There's always the one clue that is either like it connects the pieces of the puzzle all together and you figure it out then.
Mm. Yeah, that's true though, because like there's always that one moment where you're like, hmm. Like, I don't know if you've ever read Sherlock Holmes, The Hound of the Baskervilles. I
I'm
know
familiar.
I know a lot of people have, and like for me, no spoilers, guys. I'm gonna try to keep it as minimal spoiler as possible. But like for me, there was one moment where one of the characters said something to Dr. Watson, and it was like instantly, I was like, "Oh my gosh, wait, I know who the killer is. Like I know what's happening here. Like I know what this is." And that's always such a fun moment as a mystery reader, and like I want my readers to have that as a mystery writer. Like I want them to be able to have that moment of like the one clue. that's like, oh my gosh, wait. Or like that one name that they're like, wait, this was at the beginning of the book too. Like, I like to put a lot of foreshadowing in mine because that just makes it more fun.
You really want, as like an author, I think personally, like goals should be I want people to have to put the book down for a second and like think
That's
before picking it back
true.
up again.
That's so true. They're like, wait a minute, give me a moment. Calculations, what? Um, so we've been talking about this next question a little bit as we've been talking about the first one, but what is your biggest like piece of advice for keeping a reader pulled in when you're writing, like when you're writing a mystery for the first time?
Well, first, whenever you're writing a mystery, of course, you have to remain mysterious, but sometimes if you give like sometimes it's hard because if you give not enough information to keep the reader on their toes, like there has to be people are might like stop in the middle of a book if they feel like it's too slow. So you have to keep it semi fast and moving, and that can be really hard. But I think the easiest thing for at least like writing a mystery and making sure like keeping on the toes is planning is really, really key. Good planning really leads to plot twists, but also looking at a plan and looking at where do you think the plot's going and finding like whatever can go wrong, make it go wrong.
Mhm.
Whoever you don't think can do it, make them be able to do it.
Mhm. The
So just
amount of
twisting
plot.
everything people know.
Basically, make a braid, guys. Turn your story
Exactly. You
into a
want to be
braid.
bold.
Like, like forget like your one strand. No, turn it into a braid. Because that is really true. Like the more that you put into like the outlining and the planning part of being a mystery writer is so important because that way you can be like, oh, this clue leads to this one leads to this one, this so forth and so on. You can like see how they all connect, and then you don't have a random clue that you don't want in your story. Um,
Exactly.
so Fawn and I have talked about this a lot, is the fact that due to our search history, we are probably very much on a watch list. Like there is a
Oh,
reason
definitely.
that we are like when we're talking to each other about being mystery authors, people around us are like, "Are you guys okay? Like, are you guys okay?" And we're fine, we promise. Nothing is wrong with us. We're just like talking about like the most random out of pocket things. So, my question is, how much of your search history is dominated by like things you've researched for your mystery like projects?
Well, not only am I interested in like murder, like, classic murder with a gun or a knife, but I'm also really interested in killing people with plants and poison.
That's
So
that's a good branch of it to go down though.
that is a really deep rabbit hole you can go down, but a lot of my it's also usually curious, like I'll see stuff in a movie or a TV show and I'll be like, "Wait a minute, can that actually like happen?"
Mhm.
And then I'll go on my little Google and Google will be like suicide helpline or like seek help. Do
Oh
you need
my
to
gosh.
talk to somebody?
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten like those ads while I'm searching something like that. And like it's purely for like writing purposes. It's not for like my own use. It's purely for like writing purposes. But like sometimes I'll randomly pull out those facts that I know from like researching for a book and people are like, that's so weird that you know that. And I'm like, and
Like do I want to know how you knew that? Google is a wonderful place. Pinterest is also a wonderful place.
Pinterest is great for like prompts for mystery because a lot of the time they have like a lot of like mysterious art or like some kind of like writing prompt for a mystery story. And guys, as writers, I will say this probably in many more episodes of the show, and I might have already said it at this point. If I haven't, I'm sorry, I should have told you sooner. Pinterest is one of your greatest tools. Be-
Amen.
Literally, if you are like having writer's block for a minute, go to Pinterest, like look up writing prompts or like quote prompts. You will find so many, and a lot of them will be so helpful. Um, so mystery as a whole, can be seen in several different ways because there's a lot of subcategories of mystery because like I personally and Fawn as well, we seem like we write more of like the murder mystery and we do. We both write murder mysteries probably more than other kinds. But there are other kinds of mysteries like there can be thievery mysteries like all of that is possible. And so I will say you guys can write whatever kind of mystery you want to write because there are like endless possibilities. Because you can like do thievery, you can do a missing person that's not dead, like kidnapping type thing. You can do murder mysteries, you can do just like family intrigue mysteries. You can do even one series that I really enjoyed that had a lot of mystery and everything was the Inheritance Games series. That
Oof.
those were, like, really good. Like, I really liked those because they had a lot of clues, a lot of intrigue, but there was, like, no gore. Not really any murder, any gore of any kind. It was very, like, young adult, and I really appreciated that. Especially for me as, like, a Sherlock Holmes fan, because 'cause I've always been a Sherlock Holmes fan. Those were really good books. I highly recommend that you read them if you are interested in doing, like, non-murder mystery writing. Um So yeah, that's pretty much mystery in a nutshell. There's subcategories. You can love or hate mystery however you want to do it. Um, and you can just keep your readers pulled in by doing so many fun things with your story. So just have fun with it, guys. There's that's something that we really believe on this podcast is if you don't enjoy your writing and you're not having fun with your writing, then you're probably not going to end up doing anything with it because that is not a writer that is not having fun is not a happy writer.
Also, there's literally no rules with like murder mystery. Like some whenever other genres, I know I'm gonna mention fantasy again. I'm
Mhm,
sorry. But with fantasy, there's certain like not rules you have to follow, but like kind of in a sort of
mhm.
sense. Like to make the fantasy make sense, you have to like explain a little bit, and you can't just like I mean, of course, there's we've all taken like the oh, it's just magic. That's my answer. But there's also some types of structure you have to add to
Mhm.
it. But with like mystery of any kind, whether it's like missing person, true crime, or the goriest of murder mysteries, you really have no rules of where you can go. So you can literally do quite whatever you want.
That's true. You can really have fun and, like, play around with mystery a lot because it is true. Fantasy, while it's all, like, your brain is making up all of these really cool things, and, like, at this point, I've talked about fantasy with a lot of my friends, and I am also a fantasy author. Um, you also have a couple rules that you have to follow because, like, if you build a world, you have to follow you have to have some kind of lore, some kind of, like, world building going on there. But, like, with murder
Mhm.
mystery, you're not really focused on the world as much as you're focused on, like, the intrigue and the people and their emotions and their, like, all of that. So, like, characters, a little bit of setting, a little bit of, like, just historical background if you're doing it in more of, like, a historical fiction type way. Um, but you can just have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's really
It
freeing.
is. So that is all that we have for today, guys. Thank you for joining us on the Inked podcast. Fawn, it was so nice to have you.
It was lovely to be
And
here.
thank you, as always, to our listeners for being here today. And we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.